back, and Ryan McCrary is here with me. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I am good. I am in Alabama, and I
Okay.
actually have internet connection.
Oh, that's great. How's everything going down there?
Well, now that I have an internet connection, it is great. For the last 3 days, though, my dad is from up in the country in a little town called Barlow Bend, where there's like 30 people in the population of the whole little town. They
Wow.
do not have internet. They barely have cell phones. So I was like stranded for like 3 days. Like, oh my gosh, I can't get. I'm outside at night holding my phone up in the sky trying to get a signal on my phone. So I am in Mobile, back where there's some population and some good internet, and I'm excited for our conversation today.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm excited too. Definitely.
Yeah. So, for those of you who are watching, say hello, give us a thumbs up, some love, let us know that you're seeing this live. And for those of you who are watching this during a replay, just use hashtag replay to let us know that you stopped by. Tag someone you know, invite someone to the group if they're not a part of this so they can join this conversation. And today, for Leads Over Lunch, we're talking about websites. And Ryan had this brilliant question. Are websites dead? Now, I know what I think about that. So I want to hear what Ryan has to say. And I want to know what questions you have, because I know as an entrepreneur, right now in the online world, that's what people think an entrepreneur is. They're like, I have a business, I'm going to create a website, and then I'm going to be in business. And it's like, yeah, no. It doesn't work like that. But that's what a lot of people think. And I've seen people, Ryan, spend thousands of dollars on like a website because they get their colors and they get the logo and they're all excited. And the truth is, they don't sell crap.
Right. Right.
But at the end of the day, though, you do need something. So, are websites dead? And if it's not a website, then what do you do? So I'm going to pick your brain. We're going to have a conversation about this. And again, for those of you who are watching this live, chime in with your comments and with your questions. And even if you're watching it doing a replay, we'll get back to you. But, let's dive into this topic and talk about, are websites dead? What do you think, Ryan?
I think number one, I think it's a deep question. I don't think it's a question that you can just say, yes, it's dead. You never need a website. Don't get a website, something like that. And then I don't think also you can just say, no, like, you definitely need a website. You got to have a business website, and I got to spend thousands of dollars to get somebody to build it. I got to hire somebody in a foreign country. I cannot have a business. I don't feel like a legitimate business owner without a website. I think there's a little gray area. Now, me personally, I'm closer on the side of, yes, they are dead. I'm a lot closer on that side. But I think, it's a deep conversation. Now, I
Yeah.
will say this. I think it depends on what type of business that you're in. So most of the folks that are going to be watching this are in three different industries. Well, three different niches. And within these niches, there are a lot of different industries. Hey, Deborah, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Three different niches, but like multiple different industries. So you're either going to be in e-commerce, which could be multiple different things, physical products in the beauty space, apparel, all that type of stuff. You could be in information products business where you sell courses, you're a coach, you're a consultant, books, stuff like that. Or you're probably service-based, which could be a local brick and mortar. You could be a dentist, you could be a lawyer, you could be an accountant. There are multiple different service-based businesses, but most of the people watching this will probably be within three of those niches. Now, in e-commerce, do you need a website? Yeah, you need a website. If you're selling physical products, if you have a beauty brand, if you have apparel, yes, you need a website. Probably going to want to use Shopify, maybe WooCommerce, something like that. But yes, you need a website. Now, I want to pose this question. Instead of just asking, are websites dead? Does your website make money? I think that's a great question because a lot of people, if you think about it, I spent $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 on this website. Yeah, it looks good, but was the ROI there? That's why I tend to lean on the side of, are websites dead? Yeah, they may be dead because traditionally, a lot of us, even me personally, a lot of my revenue with my business is not generated from my traditional WordPress website, where people go to it and actually like I'm making money recurring. A lot of money from my companies coming from there. A lot of it is not. So that's my 2 cents on it just to start. I would love to hear what you have to say about that.
I think it depends, just like you said, right?
Right.
So when I think about it, I don't think about just the niches. I think about where you are in your business.
True.
If you are somebody who needs clients like right now, like, so for example, let's say, your job just decided they were going to go crazy and then fire everybody, or there was a layoff or a shutdown. And now you're like, okay, well, I might as well just go ahead into my business full time. That's what I wanted to do anyway. Okay, the first thing to do is not to spend a whole bunch of time trying to build a website. You need clients. So you need to learn how to pick up the phone, you need to brush up on those sales skills, get those referrals going, because you need some cash flowing in right now.
Right.
Now, if you've got clients that are coming in and you're ready to start really getting more visible, you want some higher caliber clients, like you want to start automating things, then you may need a little something on the website, right? But you don't need like 20 pages and, I got to have 50,000 blog posts. Now, if you're in the long game and you're ready to start using SEO strategies, then you do want to have a website and you do want to have those keywords and the optimization and the content. So it really depends on where you are in your business. I've seen so many people who are just starting out and they are so talented, they are skilled, but they think because they don't have a website, they can't start selling anything because it's not a legitimate business until they have a website. And like you, I've experienced that too, Ryan, where, I've got a website, I've got a blog. Partly is because as a techie person, I do it myself, right? And I love building that kind of stuff. But I've got clients all the time who have never visited my website.
Right.
And usually they don't visit it until like part of our application process. It tells them to go take a look at our about page, go take a look at our testimonials. And that's when most of them go and check out our website. So it's there, right? But it's not, again, the only thing or the one thing that's driving our sales in our business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And, for me, I don't know if everybody is familiar with like my story, but currently I'm going through a transition in my business. I'm shifting gears. I was, doing a lot of stuff heavy in finance, selling a lot of information products based around finance. I have since, kind of turned off that part of my business and only focus on digital marketing, actually, building this full-fledged agency, specializing in building sales funnels for other entrepreneurs. So in the midst of all that, I'm going through a rebranding phase, and I'm actually in the process of getting a new website for that part of my business. So currently, I don't even have a website, but does that stop revenue from coming in? No, it does not. It doesn't at all. But, like me personally, I can just say, like honestly, like I don't have an actual website right now as we speak. Like I said, it's going to be getting built. Like you said, Ty, I do my own website and web design stuff now as well. So, it's very easy. I'm going through that process. But currently, I don't have a website, a traditional website that you would think of in a traditional sense. But honestly, it hasn't really affected me too much. Mm-mm. And also, kind of piggybacking on what we were talking about last week and actually the week before on like getting leads and the importance of spending, money on traffic, paid ads, stuff like that. What really made me realize how irrelevant websites are nowadays, because it comes down to spending money on traffic. If you're spending money on paid ads, are you going to spend money to direct people right to your website? The answer is most of the time, no. Why? Because when we're spending money on ads, we want to direct them to some type of landing page, sale page with one main goal. On your website, you have home, you have about us, you have contact us, maybe your product's on there, maybe they can schedule a meeting with you, a call, or buy your service, something like that. But a lot of people may come on your website and get confused. They get distracted. They go looking at about you, they start reading your bio, and then, the kid comes in the room, they have to go and do something else, but then they actually didn't see your product or your service that you're actually offering on your website because they got distracted. So, if you're spending money on ads, what you should do to get leads and sales on demand, you're definitely not going to want to spend it. Definitely not going to want to direct them to your traditional website. You're going to want to direct them to your landing page or sales funnel, something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's just another reason why I feel as though websites aren't as relevant as they used to be.
Yeah. And I think as a caveat here, I think it's like, a standalone website. And I've, talked with a lot of people that use sites, like Wix, or they use sites like, what was that other one out there? There's another one out there. I don't remember what it is.
Mm-hmm.
one of those sites that are, like they're standalone and they don't really
Right.
integrate with anything.
Right.
Like those are hard because even the best landing page platforms, I know you use ClickFunnels. We use that for some of our clients. We also use Convertry, and those platforms, they actually will integrate with like a WordPress site.
Right.
So that you can put them on the page, but it's not going to have all the navigation. It's not going to have all the bells and whistles. And I was just doing a consult with a client the other day, and I said, don't build your website. I said, just create 2 or 3 pages, and we set up her funnel in Convertry so that she has a landing page, a thank you page, and an application page. Set all of those pages up there and she's done, because those are the only places that she needs to drive traffic to.
Right.
She doesn't need to drive them to like 50 million blog posts, because honestly, she's not there yet. And taking the time to create all that when she could be getting clients is a big distraction.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking to my good friend Ty Goodwin. We're talking about, leads over lunch, and the main topic for today is a discussion based on our website's really dead. Folks, come on. If you watch us on replay, do us a favor, type replay down there, type your name, where you're from, and the name of your business. Any other questions, you can put them down there. We would love to answer them for you. Definitely a great discussion today. So I guess another question I have for you. Well, first, the other thing I was thinking about too is I think a lot of people, I guess, get too much into the terminology and the differences, because like a landing page, technically that is a website. So, all these sales funnel stuff like that, they are websites, but they're not websites in the traditional sense. So I just think, nowadays, the online environment that we're in, it just gives the opportunity for, just to do new things. So like these landing pages, these sales funnels, sales pages, stuff like that, they are traditional websites. There are websites, but they're not traditional websites you would think about, like, in past years. So
yeah, they used to call those traditional websites, but like brochure sites. Right. And, brochures, no, I think the big move here is that interaction. And even like a landing page that has an opt-in form, that's a little bit of interaction, but you can even go further with things like calculators and quizzes and, videos. And like, there's all different kinds of ways to make it engaging and interactive. And that's what people want. They want a way to interact with you.
Absolutely. So I guess, what other thoughts do you have if someone's watching and say, okay, I get it. I want to jump on the wave. I don't need that traditional website. I don't need to spend $3,000 to get someone to do this coding that takes 6 months and it actually never gets completed. Like, what are my alternatives? What can I do where still as though, revenue doesn't slack? I'm still able to make money. If, I give a business card out or I'm talking to someone, I can still direct them somewhere, but I'm not necessarily, getting the traditional website, whereas though I pay all this money and I don't get the ROI, I really don't make any money from this website.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, using landing pages, and a lot of the landing page platforms that are out there, they will let you add a custom domain. And I don't want to get too technical with it, but it simply means like, for us, example, like we have a couple of different domains. Our main domain is profitmomentums.com, but we also own notechnotime.com. And so that's where I actually send people, right? And that is going to a landing page.
Right.
Is that landing page part of my bigger, website? Yeah, but they don't know that. It's just notechnotime.com. And so I started using that on business cards. I started using that in my signatures because I am very intentional about where I want to direct people. And so you can do that too. You don't have to send them to your website. And I hear some people might be thinking, well, they're not going to see all this. They're not going to see all that. The reality is they weren't seeing that anyway.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So be really strategic about how you, use a domain or use a short link through a service like Bitly, right? A short link or something that just really directs people. And, if you have a website already, one of the things that I want to say is that you don't always have to just direct them to a landing page. A lot of those messenger bot services right now, and even like those little pop-ups that let you talk to somebody, because people may want to ask a question. And so if you really want to get some ROI from your website that you have, adding those kinds of features that allow you to engage with people and really kind of catch their questions and their their ideas or whatever they're looking for from you, or even asking them a question and giving them a chance to respond is something that you can absolutely do as well.
That's just, you took the thought right out of my head, because that's what I was going to say. Like, even if you have, just a regular website and you're not in a position or you don't want to switch or anything right now, at minimum, put a pop-up, a messenger bot, something on the page Whereas though if someone visits the page, you still capture their information, even if they don't book a call with you or, buy something from you right then, you still are able to capture the information. So that is definitely crucial. That is key.
So I've got a question for you, Ryan. So because this is a conversation and we could definitely talk about maybe some tools in another conversation, but there's always been this like feeling that, oh, pop-ups are horrible. Oh, I hate pop-ups, but don't they work?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to have a site where there's no pop-up on it, unless, if it's a traditional landing page, of course, but like my regular website or whatever, like, especially e-commerce folks, I definitely strongly suggest you have a pop-up, given some type of coupon code, or I see a lot of e-commerce stores have like some type of wheel you can spin to win something and something like that. Of course, you want to be utilizing a quiz from the quiz queen we got right now. But I think you definitely need that on your website, pop-up, messenger bot, something, because it goes back to the fact that 97, 98% of the people who visit your website for the first time are not ready to do business with you, are not ready to buy your product, are not ready to book your service, but they may give you their name and email for some type of lead magnet, some PDF, some download, some free course, something like that. And you want to be able to take advantage of capturing that information, because in business, information is worth a lot.
Yes. And the right information at the right time. And I think that's what's so timely, about a pop-up is that, you can have it show up when people scroll. You can have it, show when people do this. We just did the quiz for Opulence MD Beauty. For Anika, Doc McDiva, with her lashes. And we just added a pop-up for her quiz on her Shopify site. Right. And so now when people scroll, there's a little thing in the bottom that says, which type of lash maven are you? And yes, you might think it's like a novelty thing, but the reality of it is that people don't always know what to buy. Right. Like they don't always know what to do. So especially for e-commerce, if you're giving them instructions or you're giving them advice on which direction they should go in, number one, you're positioning yourself as an expert, as the expert, and you're giving them the guidance that they need to make a buy decision. So they don't have to filter through 50 million different options on your site. Now you've got something that's guiding them and they can say, oh yeah, they told me I need this, so I'm gonna buy it. And that's what you want. That's how you get that ROI from your website.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And it, comes back to, direct response marketing. You definitely should be direct response. Having a traditional website, a brochure looking website, is not direct response. So you definitely want to do that.
Another thing I was thinking about is that with all the traction and the time that people are spending on Facebook or any kind of social media platform, I think that's another reason why websites are not as lively, as they used to, because we're being visible on the internet, right? We're being visible on these internet streets, as Precious says.
Right.
We're being visible on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. So there doesn't, before you had those opportunities, people had to go to a website. Mm-hmm. Now there's like 10 different other places they can find you and engage with you.
Right.
So the website is like, number 6 on the list.
Right. And I think that also, speaks to the advantage of people who are bootstrapping, people that may not have, a whole bunch of startup money, because before, like you said, you kind of needed a website for people to take you seriously. And, trying to get a website done back in the day was very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So now you could really honestly get a website for free. You can sign up for a free trial on one of these platforms for 2 weeks free. You could build some type of landing page, sales page, something like that in a few days. You could instantly have your website available, your product to market, and instantly, potentially start generating cash before you've actually even put out a lot of money, if anything at all. So I just think a lot of us still need to fully recognize what kind of times that we're in, and, make sure you're doing business in the 21st century. It's 2020, not doing business in the old way.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that made me think of was, when you're first starting out, again, spending all that time on, trying to get your brand and trying to get your colors, I don't know about you, but, actually, no, I do know about you, Ryan. We've both gone through different iterations of our business. Like, we started in one thing and then we transitioned into something else. And I used to have a stack of business cards. When I first started out, I was the Savvy VA, and this was back in
Right.
2002,
Wow.
right? I was the Savvy virtual assistant. Then I was Wordwell desktop publishing. Then I was the career makeover coach. So I've gone through all these iterations, and really it takes time to figure out who you are, what you do. So if you're just starting out, spending all that time on like your branding and your colors without really getting clear about who you serve and the problem that you solve is a waste of time.
Right.
So I wouldn't do that. Now, I will say this too. It also can depend on who your audience is.
True.
Like, if you're going after high level, like, industries
Right.
that
Corporate
are going to want to,
contracts or something like that.
exactly, like they're going to want to see a case study and they're going to want to see testimony. Like, you might need that, but unless you're there in that niche where people are going to be doing like their due diligence, like government contractors, and they're looking for all that stuff, or you're trying to get funding for like a tech startup and you need to have, it's not really
Right.
it's not really a good use of your time and your energy and your money.
Mm-hmm.
Just get some landing page. So I've got a question for you. So for those people who are listening to us and they take our advice, because we're both experts at what we do,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they are using landing pages, like if they decide to go that route, what are the landing pages that they should create for their business?
I mean, definitely opt-in, definitely some type of opt-in landing page where so you just capture information, giving away something for free. And also it depends on like who you're targeting. Are you targeting a cold audience, a warm audience, people who are familiar with you or not familiar with you? That's also going to depend. But I would say like number one is some type of like, attraction funnel or opt-in or something like that. Number two should be some type of conversion or actual sales funnel where we're actually selling something. And then another one could be like some type of high ticket application type of landing page where someone has to go on, fill out some type of form or some type of questionnaire, and you get the information, then you follow up with them or someone on your team follows up with them.
Yeah.
Those are like the three main ones just to come to mind for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with all of those. I would include too a brief bio page. For folk, I know even on just a regular website, the second most visited page is going to be your about page, because
Mm-hmm.
people kind of want to know who you are, especially if they're thinking about booking a call with you. Like they kind of want to get a feel for your credentials.
Right.
So having some kind of landing page that has a video that says, hey, thanks for, opting in, or even if it's your thank you page, for people opting in.
Right.
Tell your story, have a little bit about your bio so people get to know, like, and trust you. And then you continue that conversation, of course, in your email series. But if they can find out a little bit about you online, that's great too. So I would throw that in there. So maybe it's just those 4 landing pages that you create,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, definitely comes down to like what you're selling. The good thing about landing pages is you can create a landing page for anything that you're selling. Whether
Yeah.
you're doing a webinar, you're selling a
Mm-hmm.
service, you're selling a physical product, an information product, a book, of course, like whatever it is,
Yeah.
you can do that. And also why I love them as well is because you can change them so easily. That's another thing with websites. If you hired somebody or some type of developer, you have to try to get in touch with them. You got to try to get a hold of them. A lot of them go ghost on you. Then they take forever to fix something. Whereas though you can just log into like a ClickFunnels or like some other type of platform and literally change it immediately.
Yeah.
You want to change the price point, you want to change the headline, the color, the video, all that can literally be changed instantly. You don't got to turn your ads off and turn it back on. You can do that just like that.
Yeah. And you know what else you could do? And I forgot about this until I was going here and you go through the list, is you can test it.
Right.
So, and we should have a whole conversation around split testing.
Right.
Because most people, I know when I first started at Lead Pages, I didn't understand what the big deal with it was. And I'm just like, this A/B crap, whatever this is. Right. But, as now being more seasoned, understanding the value of being able to split test the color, the title, the images, and really find out what's working is priceless. And so that's another quick thing you can do with landing pages that you don't always get to. Actually, you can't do that with websites.
Right. Absolutely.
No.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, we're about to wrap up. This has been another fun conversation. I love having these.
Me
So
too.
I'm so glad that we get to do this. So listen, for those of you who have been watching, thanks for hanging out with us. Listen, bring your questions. Are there topics that you want us to talk about that relate to list building and lead generation? Send them in the Facebook group. Let us know. We're glad to, have those discussions. We're going to be bringing on more guests for you. We've got some great guests lined up. I can't wait to have conversations with them. Ryan, your closing words for our conversation today.
Websites are dead. Get rid of your website. No, I'm just playing. I mean, the main thing is, thinking about what is your return on your investment and like what is your main money generator. So, not just thinking about, hey, I need a website. I got to get nice design, nice color. Thinking about like, okay, how do I use this tool? Whether it is a traditional website, whether it is a landing page, some type of sales funnel, how do I use that and use this as a tool to generate revenue for my business? Yeah. So if it's service-based and you have a website, trying to get someone's information as quickly as possible so your team member can get on the phone with them and you can book them, for your services. If it's e-commerce, something like that, making it so enticing whereas though they shop into your store, they come in, and then before they check out, you offer them upsells and downsells and everything like that. So you increase your AOV, you use that as a tool to generate more revenue in your business, not just thinking, hey, I need a website. It looks great. I paid all this money. It looks beautiful, but I put it out there and doesn't make no money. So that's just my closing words.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I wholeheartedly agree. And I'm going to wrap up by saying that it's all about what's going to give you momentum. If a website, ask yourself this question, is building a website and focusing on that right now, is that going to give you the momentum that you need to start getting business?
Right.
Or can you pick up the phone? Can you start reaching out to people? Can you start using other platforms like Facebook Live where you've got a captive audience? Can you start using that? And I guess the decision factor comes down to this. Are you really about making money in your business, or are you just wanting to look like an entrepreneur?
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this has been fun. Again, we appreciate those of you who are hanging out with us, whether you're doing it live or whether you're watching a replay. We will be back next week. Actually, next week we're coming live from TSP Mastermind.
Yep.
So we might have a couple of pop-up people that kind of show up and hang out and say hey to you all.
Yep. Showing y'all some behind the scenes footage in Atlanta.
Yes, some exclusive footage. All right, so we will be back. Leave your comments, leave your love notes, and leave your questions and topics in the comments. And I'm always going to close out like I do. Until next time, be brilliant, be bankable, and be the boss of your business. See you all later.
Bye, guys.